Hello everyone, this is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. It is March 4th, 2025. I want to do a really quick video tonight about the Trump speech. Are we headed for a communist revolution? And are the Democrats should be considered a terrorist organization? Anyway, first, the Democrats showed up at that speech to be completely disrespectful and disruptive. Okay, they didn't even dress for the occasion. Complete slobs, but whatever. And this Speaker Mike Johnson had to call the Sergeant at Arms out and have one of them removed. I mean, they were just whatever. I guess that's what happens when you're a spoiled little child and you don't get what you want. But yeah, they were being disruptive, showing that they were children all the way. But now they can go back to their districts and shake their little pom-pom and say, I stood up to Donald Trump. See, I was disrespectful. And then they were holding up signs since they couldn't speak. Like when Trump said there's only two genders, male and female, they held up false. Okay, we're dealing with a party that's at the core is mentally ill. Okay, this is why they're going to become irrelevant. Okay. But anyway, and when Trump would give the speech, I didn't watch the whole thing. It was going on and on. But he would scan and talk to the Republicans, and there were a lot of interruptions with clapping, standing ovation. And he would look at the Democrats very seldom, but it was to embarrass them and basically scold them for what they've done to the country over the last 4 years. And I'm sure a lot of them, I enjoyed it. I mean, I liked what Trump had, a lot of what Trump had to say, but there's also stuff I didn't like what he had to say. Okay, first thing what I liked is we're out of the Paris the Climate Accord, we're out of the WHO, we're out of the United Nations humanitarian, whatever council committee that is, the Human Rights Committee. Okay, out of all this globalism, getting it out of our government. Okay, but then he's talking about the AI, which I don't like, and talking about allowing rich business owners that can bring businesses here to buy citizenship for $5 million. That's crazy. Okay, and there's one cardinal sin he did as a president of the United States. He compared himself to George Washington and put George Washington second below him. I don't like that. Anyway, but he had a lot of good things to say. But still, and then he's talking about bringing back our democracy. We're not a democracy, we're a constitutional republic. Bring back constitutional republic, start following the Constitution again, and we're going to get rid of a lot of these problems. Okay, take the government back down the side it's supposed to be. But then, talk about businesses like Taiwan's going to bring chip manufacturing plant to the U.S. and stuff. You know why they're doing that? Because they realize they're about to be taken over by China, so they're going to get their manufacturing over to the United States before that happens. But that may just be my way of looking at it, but that's what I would say it is. The rich money's evacuating that island. So, cool. More American jobs. Like, that should be made here anyway. Okay, we need to bring, whatever manufacturing that supplies this country should come here and make it here. But anyway, talked about that. And then he was bringing up the border, and he had a lot of guests there that had been victims of illegal immigrants. And this is what I'm calling the Democratic Party a terrorist organization. You were allowing this to come in. I mean, those parents I saw there, the siblings, they were hurting inside. So, they're getting bills named after them and wildlife refuges named after them. How about the people that caused it be wearing orange jumpsuits? The person who did it and the person that allowed that to happen, which would be the politicians. Okay? Starting with Joe Biden, he was in charge. If they could see that, maybe they could get some closure. Okay? They ain't going to get closure by the one who did it going to prison, because the one who did it was just a tool of the one that let him in. I'm so sick of this. Anyway, it just makes me hot. They are a terrorist organization. They don't care about the American citizen. Anyway, but all I could see from that is a split in the country. Okay? You got Americans that want America back, some more stronger like me than others, where I'm ready to go back to the constitutional republic the way it was formed. And some that are a little bit more liberal than that, which is fine. But we're bringing back, like Trump says, common sense. You know, the stuff we were all brought up with. You know, a boy and girl, you go in this bathroom, that bathroom. You know, that type of stuff. Only men and women get married. If you're a woman, girl, you play in girl sports. That type of stuff. You know, not giving our money away. America first. I mean, just a lot of... He's talking about the economy the way he's talking happens. Oh yeah, these big businesses start coming in. We're going to have money. He's talking about the farmers. My thing about the farmers is the government needs to stay out of farming. You know, it's just another Department of Agriculture that needs to disappear. Okay, let the market decide it, not some government bureaucrat behind a desk determine what's going to be bought and sold. Anyway, but getting back to that, these victims, families, what Democrat's going to be held responsible for this? Or Republican that sided with this stuff? Oh, I guarantee you they're angry, and their grief ain't going away. Because the real ones that should be punished and in jail for it aren't. And those are actual Americans. I made a video on my old channel about when the border crisis, the Democratic policies of the border crisis come to your front door. And those are people, Americans, where it came to their front door. Terrible. Seeing the pain in their eyes. You know, I guess that's a place where you wish you weren't, but you were glad you were there type of situation. You don't want to be honored for such a thing. Anyway, I think the Democrat Party, when it comes to it's not going to be a civil war, it'll be a communist revolution. Because that's what they want, a communist revolution. It's got nothing to do with the founding fathers or the Constitution or the Revolutionary War. Hell, they don't even know nothing about that. But do you think they're really going to try it? Because I guarantee you, if they try it, the American people now are going to put them down like... Just like, you know, if you tried hijacking a plane after 9/11, you got gang tackled. Yeah, you ain't going to do it for one thing. You know, hell, Biden is the one who put the executive order out that the Secretary of Defense can call up the military now to take out active duty military to take care of mostly peaceful protests, you might say. Okay, the thing is, if that Democratic Party ever gets back in charge, we will have another Revolutionary War, but it's before, I'll call it a Constitutional War. Because if they ever get back into power, woo, they're going to swing that pendulum so much the other way. But anyway, I wanted to bring it on. I was listening to a YouTuber was saying how, oh, the other side's trained. You know, I'm a Marine Corps vet, right? He's never been in the military. He's talking about how the other side is training for this war that's coming up. There ain't one pussy-ass liberal Democrat that could even go through 1/10 of the training I went through, okay? Why do you think we all look like football players? None of them do. They got a flat tummy and spaghetti arms and don't even know what end of a gun a fucking bullet comes out of. Okay? No matter how much training you have, you still aren't going to have the discipline. Okay? And that's what keeps your head together. But anyway, Is it going to come? They ain't got the strength. That they're stupid. I want it to come because then we can eliminate the cancer out of this country. Make it illegal. Boy, McCarthy was right, wasn't he? Yep. YouTube won't, you can't even sit there and have, 8 minutes, 7, 8 minutes. I have to have a commercial all the time because they're losing money out the ass. I wonder why. Maybe it's because everybody's sick of the woke liberal shit. Like Trump said, we're done with woke. No shit. America's had enough of it. And if you don't like it, just go move to a country that allows it. Well, that's right. That would be no country. So, whatever. But anyway, it was interesting. The Democrats are definitely a mentally ill party, okay? Satanic, just among other things. Let's not forget, they had an abortion van behind their Democratic convention, and they took God out of their platform, okay? If anybody watched my last video of Paul Harvey, If I Were the Devil, you know, you can talk about the devil in school, but you can't talk about God. I can just about imagine if the Romans would have been, or the Jews would have been successful at shutting Jesus up, where this world would be right now. Okay? And everybody talks about the second coming of Christ. Let's see, when Christ came the first time, what was there? 50 million people on the planet? And now we got over 8 billion. And any man with any gonads is going to stand up to, like Jesus did in the temple. And what do you think's going to happen to him? Well, he definitely ain't going to be on this platform being able to get 12 disciples. Anyway, you know, America's split, and I'm not going to worship any politician. I don't worship any man. I worship God. Okay, but, you know, I saw some similarities when Trump was speaking that I didn't like, to something else I'm not going to say. But this is what happens when, you know, we were forced into absolute retardedness, into wokeness, forced into it. Okay? Told you we'll accept this. Now we got this. The one thing I didn't hear him talk about was Ukraine, getting rid of the IRS. God, I wish they'd stop taxing us coming and going. I want America back. I want America first, definitely, but I want the American citizen first. Okay? If we're going to make America great, you got to make the individual great. Okay? And get rid of the Health and Human Services Department. Let's put everybody back to work. Kick these illegal out, all of them, and put them back to work. All this industry coming in, put them back to work so they can actually earn their first couple paychecks and find out, jeepers cripes, I'm making way more than I was when I was on the county. Yeah, I get no more assistance, but heck, I got extra money and I can do what I want and I don't have to feel jealous about my neighbor. Okay? We need to make the American individual feeling good about himself again. Make him feel that he's got the American dream to look forward to again. And not he's going to be passed over because somebody from a different country has other priorities. You know, I see a lot of truckers now. And I work at a truck stop. And these truckers can't even read a bathroom closed sign. They can't read. And I would say 70% of them. They always need my help because they can't even read where the bathrooms are. We need to get rid of them truck drivers because I really feel a lot safer on the road if I knew that we had truck drivers that are driving 40 ton down the road or 40 ton down the road that can actually read our signs. Okay? And so subject for another day. By the way, yep, it was interesting. So let's see if we're going to have a communist revolution. That would be stomped out so fast. And then he's talking about how the military recruitment's way up and stuff. Well, yeah. I mean, I wanted to be a Marine ever since the 8th grade. They told me to come back when I was older. Do you think I'd have joined the military under Joe Biden? Having to serve with transgenders? Okay, a guy, if he would have been, this wasn't MASH where he had Klinger, okay? And now they make Klinger, you know, Joe Biden, Klinger was the star soldier they wanted. He'd have showed up to a formation, inspection or a formation or anything in a uniform that wasn't to your sex, you'd have been thrown in the grave. So, and then a mental institution if you would have sat there. Oh, I'm a woman, no, I'm a woman. Anyway, it was a long speech. I didn't get through all of it, but, you know, for those families that lost loved ones because of the Democratic policies, somebody needs to be held accountable. Anyway, everybody have a great night. I'm out.